Elders know God's word. They teach and they encourage others to believe and follow Jesus. That is the goal of elders. And anything else will just cause division in the church. And when I read that in 1 Timothy and throughout the Bible, you're like, man, sign me up for that. Man, I can get behind that. If you can guarantee that elders of the church will go to every single person, and their goal is to reconcile them back to the gospel, to have sincere faith, man, sign me up today. So at Elevate, how do we make sure this happens? How do we accomplish this? What is God's way of doing it? Well, Paul gave instructions. We'll go back to the beginning of the sermon in 1 Timothy 3. This is the very first line. This saying is trustworthy. If anyone aspires to the office of overseer, he desires a noble task. And if we stop right there just real quick, the word for overseer is episkopos. And this is what it is. If you look at the definition of this Greek word, this is what it is. It's an overseer, it's an elder, it's a bishop, it's a minister, it's a pastor, a guardian. It is someone who hits the mark. And this is really important for us to understand. All of these terms, there's no difference between the title of pastor, the title that I hold, and the title of elder. They're the exact same thing. So to help our mind understand this, in our American church, the good question to ask if someone wants to be an elder or someone thinks that they could be an elder, the question is this: can you do the job of a pastor? And I ask it that way, but it should be the opposite. Because up to this point, so far, we have separated that we've said, some people are called to be pastors. I was like, okay, if you're not called to be a pastor, well, maybe then you can just have a normal job and you can be an elder. And you've probably met some people like, man, you'd be a great pastor. Maybe some of you have told some young people that. And you've said, well, maybe you can't be, but may you be a great elder someday. But here's the thing, and my plea to us as a church and our understanding of this is that I want to make sure that we merge these terms and these people group back together just like they did in 1 Timothy. I suggest in our minds we do our best to marry these. Because as soon as we separate them, we're going to have different expectations for both people. And we're going to get frustrated with some, and we're going to point our fingers at some, and it's like, oh, it's the elder's fault, it's the pastor. And that is not the way to do it at all.